You know what? I thought that today was a good day. I was watching the Buffalo Bulls game, of course, watching our boys score 8 rushing touchdowns, and I was all excited. I was feeling great about the day, and then we get hit with the news. Adam Schefter just reporting that Buffalo Bills wide receiver John Brown is going to land himself on the IR, which is devastating news for Buffalo Bills fans and for this team. I mean, John Brown has been a great addition for this team, even since last year when he came in, and again this year as the number 2 behind Stephon Diggs. And unfortunately, it looks like we'll be missing him for at least 3 games. But let's get started the right way, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this breaking news edition. Apex, glad to see you in the chat. And again, I know that there are going to be some of you coming in here, strolling in as we break this. What's really bad news for both the Buffalo Bills and for John Brown. John Brown being placed on the IR with a high ankle sprain. So we'll talk a little bit about John Brown, and we'll talk about the impact that this will have on the Buffalo Bills. This means that John Brown will be out for at least 3 games, right? We talked yesterday about getting players healthy for that playoff push. And if this is what it takes, hey, Major, how you doing? Glad to see you in here. And if this is what it takes for John Brown to get healthy, then maybe this is a good thing. However, we're still in a division race, guys. We're only 1 game up on the Miami Dolphins. This is not the news you want to hear as we continue to make that playoff push. Yesterday, we found out that Cody Ford will be placed on season-ending IR. So he's out for the season. And I found out John Brown will be placed on IR, missing at least 3 games. He helps our passing attack so much. He does. We notice a difference when John Brown is not on the field. So, yeah, there is a next man up mentality. Absolutely no question about it. You have to have that mentality. Kevin comes in and says that's not good. Not at all. And you have to have that mentality. You have to have that, next man up type mentality. But the truth is, this really hurts our passing attack. This really hurts Josh Allen and his productivity as far as what he can do on the field. You need to see Gabe Davis step up now. We know Isaiah Hodgins. He's going to be off IR. So there's going to be options out there for Josh Allen. But how much time has Josh Allen had to connect with these receivers? And guys, make sure as you're coming in here again, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button again as you're walking in here or coming in here as we break this news about John Brown. Again, you don't like to see this news about anybody, but John Brown is definitely one of those guys who really helped us out on the field, right? Who, again, you definitely saw a difference when he was on the field compared to when he was off the field. So again, we're gonna have to see some of these guys step up a little bit for the Buffalo Bills if we expect them to continue to lead the AFC East. I think that this really puts the Buffalo Bills down a little bit. I mean, sure, I think we can beat the Chargers. I think we can beat the San Francisco 49ers. But what does that mean for games coming up? And just because he's going to miss at least 3 games, is there a potential for him to miss more than 3 games? So the Bills are bringing up wide receiver Jake Kumerow, who we just picked up from the Packers not too long ago as well. So there are moves the Bills are going to make to try to make up for the loss of John Brown. But you can't make up for what John Brown gave you. Let's talk about his productivity so far this season when he has played. And we know that John Brown has missed some games so far this season, but you're looking at a guy who had 6 receptions against Arizona. He had 8 receptions against Seattle. This guy can really get the job done. Again, sure, he's missed some games, but he hasn't done as good this year as he did last year, now that he's the number 2 behind Stephon Diggs. But just last year, you're talking about 72 receptions for over 1,000 yards. I mean, you're talking about a guy who obviously has not been healthy the full season, but when he's on the field, he makes a huge impact. 29 receptions this year, averaging 13.3 yards a reception. So we're obviously going to miss John Brown, and it's not something that Bills fans might all agree upon as far as his importance on his team, but we definitely are going to miss John Brown. I mean, look at Gabe Davis. Again, Gabe Davis is going to have to step up for the Buffalo Bills if the Buffalo Bills are going to continue to be productive in the passing game. I'm going to look up Gabriel Davis's numbers a little bit here too, just to see what he's doing so far for the Buffalo Bills this year. So far for the Bills this season, Gabe Davis has 19 receptions for 275 yards. So he's averaging over 14 yards a reception. However, over the last 4 games, last 5 games, He's only had 6 receptions, with 4 of those coming in one contest against the Seattle Seahawks. So really, again, needs to step up and become a bigger part of the passing attack. We need to see more numbers like we did against the Seattle Seahawks, where he had 4 catches for 70 yards. Now, the good news is, we talked about this yesterday a little bit. I do believe that the Buffalo Bills are going to go with more of a potential running attack now that we're hitting the later end of the season. Now that we're hitting December, football might get a little colder in Buffalo. You might see those winds, those whirling winds begin to pick up in Buffalo. You might see some more running attack. You might see more of Devin Singletary. You might see more of Zach Moss as we head down towards the final stretch of the season. And that might help the Buffalo Bills kind of hide the fact that they're missing John Brown. So you look at the Bills' next 3 games, you're talking about the Chargers, you're talking about the San Francisco 49ers, and you're talking about that big contest against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the currently undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, we know being all messed up due to the pandemic, due to the Baltimore Ravens coming down with the coming down with what the Tennessee Titans almost had, as far as having players continuously test positive. So we know the Steelers' schedule is all messed up. So we're not trying to make excuses for why we might not be 100% playing the Steelers. Listen, the Steelers won't be 100% either. Remember, they had to take a bye week in week 4. Hopefully we run the ball. Yeah, I hope that we run the ball a lot more in these upcoming contests. Yeah, hopefully we can still win against the Chargers. Hopefully we can still win against San Fran. Because the Miami Dolphins are right there, guys. The Miami Dolphins play the Jets tomorrow. I know a lot of us Bills fans would love to see the Jets get their first win tomorrow, right? We would love to see that. We'd love to see the Buffalo Bills get a little more of a cushion when it comes to the AFC East. But this is a big-time injury. I mean, we just found out that Tua won't be playing tomorrow for the Miami Dolphins against the Jets. They're going on for Ryan Fitzpatrick. There's some NFL news broke today. Matt Patricia for the Lions. I mean, he was fired. So another head coach has been fired. Hey, Matt Cap. Hey, Kevin Ashley. I think Hodges is going to come up. I think that Hodgins needs to come up. But the problem, again, remains, how much time has Josh Allen had to get a good connection with Isaiah Hodgins? Again, Isaiah Hodgins, rookie draft pick that we picked up this last draft, has not played yet down in the NFL. He got injured during training camp. He's been on IR pretty much ever since, waiting for him to come up. And this might be the perfect time. Now, we did see from Adam Schefter that the Buffalo Bills will bring up wide receiver Jake Kumerow off the practice squad. Again, a guy that we picked up from the Packers when the Packers dropped him earlier this season. So you're not sure exactly how much time Josh Allen has had with these guys. KKM coming in and saying, Duke, hey, Scott Blakely, glad that you can join us. Garrett Hall here from Utah. Glad that you guys are here wherever you're from. Leave it in the comment section. Let me know where you guys are watching from. But Scott Blakely, just to let you know, John Brown has been placed on IR with a high ankle sprain. So that means he's going to miss at least 3 games. So we already know Matt Milano is on IR for at least 1 more game. We know Cody Ford is out for the season. And now we know that John Brown's going to be on IR for at least 3 games. We knew that he would be out at least tomorrow. We know that Coach McDermott last on Friday that he would be out for tomorrow's game, John Brown. But Kevin Ashley joined me from Florida. I appreciate that. But now we find out that he's going to miss the San Fran game. He's going to miss the Pittsburgh Steelers game, and we're just not sure how many more games he's going to miss after that. Again, we all hope that's only 3 games, right? We hope that high ankle sprain in 3 weeks, hopefully he's out 100%. But if he's not 100%, then you're talking about possibly that New England game, possibly that San Fran game. I know we have Denver, or possibly that Miami game. I know that we have Denver in there as well, but it really leaves us with some doubts as far as how much more John Brown has to give for the Buffalo Bills this season. We know what he's like at 100%. And we know what this offense can do. Hey, Daniel, glad to see you in here as well. But my opinion that this means that Gabriel Davis is going to have to fill in that number 2 role. You're still going to want Cole Beasley in the slot. You don't want Cole Beasley to be the number 2 guy. How many weeks is Brown out? At least 3. Once he's put on IR, that means he's out at least 3 weeks. So he's out at least for the game tomorrow against the Chargers, out for the game against the San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football, and out for the Sunday Night Football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So those are 3 weeks we know he's out for, but it could be longer just because Bees will have to step up, absolutely. But Bees has to stay in that slot. That's where he's most productive. So that means Gabriel Davis is going to have to be your number 2 wide receiver, which isn't bad. Again, if we can get the production from Gabriel Davis we got earlier this year, it would be a better thing. You talk about 4 catches against the Rams, 5 catches against Tennessee, 2 against the Jets. I mean, if we get that kind of production on Gabe Davis, I think that will be good for this Buffalo Bills team. We know that Gabe Davis and Josh Allen have had the opportunity to connect for a little bit now, with John Brown being in and out of the lineup for the past few weeks. But again, we haven't seen that productivity for a little bit. We saw 4 catches against the Seahawks a few weeks ago, but other than that, he's only had 2 catches the last 6 weeks. So you need to see more from Gabriel Davis. But again, Isaiah Hodgins, he's going to have to step up. We might need to see more out of Isaiah McKenzie as far as those jet sweeps, maybe even in the passing game. What scares me is we're going to have to see more from Andre Roberts. And if you go back to that Tennessee Titans game where we needed to ask more of Andre Roberts in the receiving game, it really took a toll on his special teams game. Now, I'm not sure if the two are connected. I hope not, because if we need to see more of Andre Roberts in the return game this week, in the receiving game for the next 3 weeks, that might take that spark that he provides for us in the special teams. There's no doubt about it that he is one of the best kick return guys in the NFL, currently leading AFC Pro Bowlers in that category. I believe him and Josh Allen are 2 of the top Pro Bowler votes right now, and Stephon Diggs. So we have 3 guys probably going to the Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl voting, of course, going on as we speak. But John Brown, someone who put up Pro Bowl type numbers last year, is now out. Davis has struggled to fill in for Smoke. He absolutely has, and I want to see more production out of him. We already know the offensive line is going to continue to be banged up. Cody Ford out. Now I'm happy to see Feliciano back. I'm happy to see Mitch Morse back. So we're going to see how that offensive line does. But we saw Gabe Davis drop that touchdown pass against the Seattle Seahawks. We've seen Gabe Davis not be able to get open against some press coverage, right? So those are all problems that we might have going into this game. But again, we knew that John Brown was going to be out for this game. Okay, so this game doesn't concern me as far as game plan, as far as being ready. And again, San Fran, hopefully we can still beat that team. If you want to talk about a team that's banged up, you talk about the San Francisco 49ers. Okay, we don't have the excuse of saying, oh, we weren't healthy to play the Niners. Okay, they haven't been healthy all season. So I would expect to still beat the Niners, even though it isn't San Fran. But then you talk about that Steelers game. That was going to be tough with John Brown. So without John Brown, I think that makes it a little bit more difficult, a little bit more seemingly a little bit more daunting to go play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, luckily, the Steelers do come to Buffalo, but you're missing one of your top weapons in John Brown. Hopefully, he's ready for the playoffs, and hopefully, they'll still have that AFC East championship in the bag. That's what I want to see. Again, my expectations at the beginning of the season were AFC championship game, 1 home playoff victory. After that, it's gravy. So we still should be the front runners to win the AFC East. We're a game up on the Dolphins. We have the tiebreak against the Dolphins. So we'll see what happens. Put Duke Williams in at tight end, says Calvin Ashley. Duke Williams is another name that's going to come up. We're going to talk about replacing John Brown, who was placed on IR. So there's a lot of possibilities out there. We'll see what happens tomorrow. And make sure you guys join me tomorrow for the game between the Buffalo Bills and the LA Chargers. Again, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button for continual Buffalo Bills news and also Buffalo sports. Again, I was very excited just about an hour ago watching Jared Patterson go crazy against Kent State. Again, over 400 rushing yards for Jared Patterson. Just a great game for him. 8 touchdowns, tying an NCAA record. That was unbelievable. As Terrell Dotson back, I believe he is. Calvin Ashley Brown is the X factor for the Bills offense. Quite a difference when he is out. Since Daniel Gary's, I completely agree with that, and we'll see how much it affects the Buffalo Bills tomorrow. See if Josh Allen can still get that air attack going. Again, I do expect to see more running towards the end of the season. So hopefully we do that. I expect to see a lot more running the ball against a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So hopefully that doesn't affect that game plan as much. But this definitely changes the defensive outlook when it comes to run defense, knowing that John Brown isn't on the field. You might be able to play a little more man-to-man against a guy like Gabe Davis, against a guy like Duke Williams, against a guy like Isaiah Hodgins. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, there's plenty of discussion to be had, but I just wanted to break the news to you guys right here on Believers Talk. John Brown, wide receiver for the Buffalo Bills, placed on IR. So that means he'll miss at least 3 games. Again, if you haven't already hit that thumbs up button, like this video. And if you haven't left a comment, leave a comment. Let me know what this injury means to the Buffalo Bills in your eyes. And again, join me tomorrow for the game between the Chargers and the Bills. I look forward to talking to you all soon. Not good news for the Bills, but if you were watching the Buffalo Bulls, you got to see some running of the Bulls as Jared Patterson runs for over 400 rushing yards. So we'll see how this affects our Buffalo Bills tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you all then. Until I do, go Bills.